We need to talk about Jackson guitars because lately they are making some absolutely huge moves. I recently got my hands on these two brand new Jackson 7 strings from the new 2023 line, and after spending a good amount of time with them both in the studio and live on stage on the road, I can genuinely say that these are some of the best 7 strings that I've ever played. If you've watched this channel before or you've seen some of my videos on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it's probably no surprise that I am a Jackson player and a Jackson artist. And watching the new wave of Jackson, especially over the past couple years, is very exciting, not only as a Jackson player, but as just a guitar player in general, and the way that they're pushing the modern guitar brand. And as these new guitars are being released slowly, it is very clear that Jackson are listening to the public feedback that we are giving, and in some cases even going the extra mile to appease to us modern metal players. That riff I just played was written by Leevia Shiuan, and it's taken from an Instagram collaboration that we did together not too long ago. She wrote the riff, I wrote the rest of the song. If you guys want to see that and check her out as well as her band MakeMake, all of those links will be down in the description below. Let's start with this guitar first because a lot of people have been asking me about it. This is the absolutely gorgeous Josh Smith signature 7-string guitar. Josh and I went through this exact guitar in an episode of Guitar Chat back in May 2022, and you can check out that video somewhere up here. And after having it myself, as a modern metal player, the specs on this are absolutely unreal. It's got an extended scale length at 27 inches, plus the Evertune bridge. So this guitar is an absolute beast in lower tunings and handles them just fine. It also comes stock with Josh's signature bare knuckle impulse pickups, both the humbucker bridge and the single coil neck variation in the same guitar, which is a cool little combo and it's something that I wish more guitar brands would do because it looks sick. They're mated to 2 volume pots. So the bottom one here is for the bridge and this one here is for the neck, and it gives you some cool combinations because you can roll off the volume, have a split coil and stuff like that. Very cool that it's out of the way. This is something that I wish more guitars would have. You can tell that, you know, the volume pot's like not right there or something like it would be on a Strat or another style of guitar. It's very out the way. You don't really bump it when you're playing. A lot of people, myself included, when you're playing super hard or playing on stage or something like that and you're not really caring about where your hands are flying, sometimes you roll off the volume knob and your tone gets a little bit weird and you're like, oh, what was that? But that's not a problem with these at all. Comes stock with a Graphtec nut, locking tuners and lumen lace side dots, which I imagine would be very handy for Josh because if you've ever seen a North Lane live show, it is very light heavy and it gets very dark sometimes. So having those glow in the dark side dots would be absolutely huge in their shows, I'm sure. It's got a neck through construction with this dark, blacked out, no inlays ebony fretboard, which I absolutely love, on top of a very smooth roasted maple neck, and the body wings are older. I actually do prefer bolt-on guitars. I'm not really a neck through guy because I do find that the bolt-ons are a little bit snappier. However, this guitar doesn't seem to have a problem with that, and my theory is that, you know, due to the bright woods and due to the construction of the guitar, the Evertune bridge, the thin neck, all that stuff, it kind of just closes that gap tonally between having a neck through and a bolt-on. A lot of people are quick to notice this ridiculously loud Fender style 7-string headstock. It's just huge. On forums and Facebook groups, this headstock seems to be really decisive, but I actually love it, and I know Josh loves it as well. Fender being the parent company of Jackson, it allows them to do cool stuff like this, and I'm all here for it. After all the specs we just went through, I can't imagine anything else that a modern 7-string player would want in a 7-string guitar. The only elephant in the room most of the time, especially in Facebook groups and forums and stuff like that with this guitar in particular, is the fact that it has nickel frets and not stainless steel. I do enjoy stainless steel fret guitars. I have a bunch of both stainless steel and nickel fret guitars, but I will say that Josh does like nickel frets, and I guess it is his signature guitar, so you know, who am I to say anything, right? And we'll save this one to last. This guitar is slightly newer than the Josh Smith signature. This is the Jackson Modern Dinky Pro Plus Evertune 7-string. You might have heard of Jackson's Pro Series guitars, and this is kind of like an upgrade / iteration of that line. And honestly, I think this guitar might be taking top spot as my favorite guitar over the Misha 7-string Evertune that you've probably seen me use a lot. A lot of you might be looking at this guitar and thinking that it does look eerily similar to something else. This model here is the same guitar just from a couple years ago, and it's probably most well known for being used by Mike Stringer from Spiritbox. Mike and I also went through that exact guitar in an episode of Guitar Chat, which again, you can check out somewhere on the top of this page. And despite being a sick guitar with some really nice specs, there were some reservations from the general public, both in the way that it was kind of quote unquote boring, and I assume that's because of the color and the lack of stainless steel frets on the fretboard. However, both of those things have been addressed with this guitar in the next upgraded iteration, as it has this ridiculously loud and cool gold glitter black burst finish and stainless steel frets on this as well. And in my opinion, that is enough to tip a lot of players over the edge if they were on the fence about getting a guitar like this. 26.5-inch extended scale length with the Evertune bridge. This also has an ebony fretboard. However, if I had it my way, I would take away the inlays completely and have it like the Josh signature. But I can appreciate the fact that Jackson did try to do something with the inlays and gave this kind of offset design and not just slap them in the middle of the fretboard, because that looks ugly on modern guitars. The neck on this guitar is maple with a fat strip of wenge in the middle, and it feels really nice. It's super sleek. It's not glossy at all. It's very, very nice to the touch. I really enjoy the aesthetic of these neck designs where it's just like the fat strip in the middle. Mike also loves them as well. I remember we were talking about that in the Guitar Chat, but yeah, they just look awesome. And the pickups that originally came with this guitar were a set of very high-end active pickups. I'm fairly sure that they were originally Fishman open core pickups. A lot of people like active pickups. I'm much more of a passive guy. I've been playing passive pickups for like nearly a whole decade now exclusively. It's just a personal preference thing. I just love the response of passive pickups, especially how it, affects my dynamics and how I play with my right hand and stuff like that, which I'm picking pretty hard most of the time. So I like the way that that reacts with passives. I'm also a bare knuckle pickups player, so Tim and I at Bare Knuckle, we kind of put our heads together and thought what would be a cool set of pickup covers to put in this guitar. And the result of that was this absolutely gorgeous set of Bare Knuckle Juggernaut 7-string pickups, a model of pickup that I am very familiar with because I have them in like 3 other guitars. I asked for battle-worn camo covers, but Tim and I kind of put our heads together and we decided that it would be cool if the camo kind of reflected like more black and gold as opposed to more greenish tones that are in the original pickup covers, and they absolutely smashed it. With the age gold bolts, it looks phenomenal. And now, on top of playing absolutely flawlessly, this guitar sounds and reacts exactly the way that I want it to. In regards to the playability of both of these guitars, they play absolutely phenomenal and they've both been set up. This one's set up in drop F sharp with a set of 72 to 10 strings, and this one's set up in drop G sharp with a set of 9.5 to 70. All of the strings are of course from the string source, so you can check out all of their custom gauges in the description below. This guitar was kind of going to be treated as like a studio machine / live backup to my Misha Evertune 7-string, but I think this might need to be the main one now, especially with the stainless steel frets and everything and the finish. Like, I'm really enjoying this guitar, I'm not gonna lie. And then after having spent some time with this guitar, especially with that slightly longer scale length. I do feel it, especially up here, like the frets are slightly more spaced out. I do prefer it, to be honest, like especially when I'm doing solos and stuff, I have a tendency to kind of bunch all my fingers up together and it gets very hard to get in between the frets. But with a slightly longer scale length, you know, there's like less room for error when I'm sliding and stuff like that. So whether that's just like a playing thing and I just need to get better, I don't really care. I just really like the longer scale length, and I really hope that one day, Jackson, if you're watching, I know you are, I really hope you do a 29.5-inch import model for Josh, because I think that's something that myself and a lot of other players really, really want to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Have you guys checked out any of these guitars yourself? Let me know if they're popping up in shops near you. If you guys want to know anything about these guitars, definitely let me know in a comment below. If you guys liked this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you saw or heard. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. If you guys want to support me directly, you can check out things like my Patreon, affiliate links, all of that stuff. Every single way to support me will be down in the description below. Massive thank you to Jackson Guitars for sending both of these guitars over. I have not stopped playing them since I got them. And they are awesome. Huge thanks to Leevia for writing the riff for this video, and you can check her and her band MakeMake out in the description below. Another big thank you to all my Patreons, and a massive thank you to every single one of you guys watching. Without you guys, I would not be in the position to show you guys cool guitars like this. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.